yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom, ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom, ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Well, Erev Tov, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Thank you to our Shabbat service this evening. I'm so glad to have you here with me. For those of you who do not know me, I am Cantor Michelle, usually accompanied by Rabbi Newman, who unfortunately a couple of days ago tested positive for COVID, and so he is not here with us tonight. So we wish him and Janet a refuah shlema, quick and complete recovery very soon. We can now turn to page 2, and I'd like to invite anybody who would like to come and light Shabbat candles for us. I'll be happy to chant the bracha, the blessing, but if someone would like to light, or a number of someone's, thank you. Shabbat shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shal Shabbat. Thank you. Right, we now turn to page 4 as we welcome in Shabbat with Hine Ma Tov, the prayer that says it is so good that we are all able to be here together. And it is so good. So please take just a moment to introduce yourself or to say Shabbat Shalom to someone who is sitting nearby. Hine ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shavet achim gam yachad. Shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim 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 שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה, יאללה, לה, 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 הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה, יאללה, לה, 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 הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. You all sound so beautiful tonight. All right, let's all turn to page 6. And is there someone that would like to lead us responsively at the middle of page 6 in God's wondrous creations? You can volunteer or someone will be voluntold. Thank you.
God has pointed us in the direction of good and right living in the book of Micah. It is our compass and star to guide us each day and night. God asks of me to be merciful, forgiving others and releasing old grudges, and lending a hand to those in need. May we fulfill these expectations each day to the best of our ability as others look to us for direction.
Thank you so much. We are all going to join together on page 8 as we welcome in the angels of peace with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. On page 12, we lift our eyes to the mountains. From where does our help come? You know, I love thinking about the context in which we get to use and say all of our different prayers. And I know that this one, for many people, for the obvious reasons, has extra special meaning in Vail. I love that on our tablecloth back here, can anyone read what these words say on the tablecloth? Just go ahead and blurt it out. You got it. Yes, Esa Einai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. I think we're probably the only synagogue in the world that has that embroidered on our tablecloth. And you know, we kind of do everything a little bit differently here. And so I love that that's one of the things that we have special here at B'nai Vail. Please join me on page 12 and join with me as we sing Esa Einai. Esa Einai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Esa Einai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shamayim Ba'aretz. Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shamayim Ba'aretz. Esaina el harim, me'ayin yavo Ezri. Esaina el harim, me'ayin yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz. On the bottom, page 15, please join me in reading responsively. As we live amidst the trees, streams, and mountains of Vail, we pray for the care and healing of the earth so that present and future generations may enjoy the fruits of creation. We teach our children to love Judaism, to honor and carry our traditions as the laws of Torah, so our legacy may continue. May each day be filled with kindness, honesty, integrity, and righteous acts, so that we remain filled with the promise of the covenants. Please join me together as we welcome in the Shabbat bride on page 16 with Lecha Dodi. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'ribor echad, Hishmianu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila, la 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 la, Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, Ki yehi mekor ha'miracha, Mirosh mikedem nisucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kumitzi mitoch ha'avmecha, Rav lach shevet be'emich ha'vacha, Vehu yachmol alaychem. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise as we welcome in our Sabbath bride on the bottom of page 18. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, Tolchem u'nei am segula, Boi kala, la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. At the top of page 22, we have what I feel like is just the B'nai Vail's quintessential reading, and funny enough, it is not from a Jewish source, but from a newspaper that was written in 1921 from an advice column. And we have this reading just for today that sort of becomes this chameleon of a reading that seems to be applicable at every single life occasion that we have, whether it's a bar mitzvah or a wedding or any kind of simcha. Is there anybody who has yes, Jean, please. I would love for you to lead us in Just for Today.
Just for today, I will live one day only, forgetting yesterday and tomorrow, and not trying to solve the whole problem of life at once. Just for today, I'll be afraid of life and death. Unafraid to enjoy the beautiful, be happy. People are as happy as they make their minds to be. Just for today, I will adjust myself to what is and not try to adjust everything to suit me. If I cannot have what I like, I will try to like what I have. Just for today, I'll be agreeable, cheerful, charitable. Do my best, praise people for what they can do, not criticize them for what they cannot do. And if I find fault, I will forgive it and forget it. I will try not to improve or regulate anybody except myself. Just for today, I will have a plan. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have one. It will save me from worry, hurry, and indecision. Just for today, I will get people off my nerves and not get on theirs. I will appreciate them, what they do, and what they are. Just for today, I will not show it if my feelings are hurt. Just for today, I find it time for quiet to relax and to realize what life is and can be. Time to think about God and get a better perspective of myself. Just for today, I will look at life with fresh eyes and discover the wonder of it. I will know that as I give to the world, so the world will give to me.
Thank you. You could actually hold on to the mic for a second because Harrison's going to need it in just a couple minutes. Please rise as we transform from our individual preparations for Shabbat, our Kabbalat Shabbat portion of our evening, into this communal section that starts with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. While this may not be exactly what the words mean, it's almost as though the leader, the Shaliach Tzibor, the person leading the prayer, is saying, hey, are you all ready to pray? And you all get to answer, yes, we are ready. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed. Shabbat Shalom. All right, please join me on page 28. You have loved your people Israel with unceasing love. You taught us Torah and mitzvot, laws and judgments, and so Adonai, our God, we debate your laws when we lie down and when we rise up. Ahavat Olam, page 28. Ahavat Olam חוקים ומשפטים אותנו למדת, אותנו למדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. All right, Harrison and Lila, come on up. Harrison and Lila are going to lead us in the Shema, and please join with them on the top of page 30.
Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Bayo Habevo Nasir Edgam Vaed.
Thank you so much. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. May I please have a volunteer to lead us responsively in gratitude at the top of page 32. Yeah, thank you.
As the sun sets slowly behind the mountains of Vail, we gather together, appreciative of the many gifts we enjoy. Shema, amidst the peacefulness of these surroundings, let us no longer focus on what we desire, but rather upon what we already savor, the quietness of the creek. We thank you each day for health of body, mind, and spirit. Let our daily actions reflect our gratefulness for our lives every moment with every breath. As we recite our prayers surrounded by family and friends, let us joyfully lift our voices in song, grateful to God who's given us the blessing of Shabbat.
Thank you so much. So micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Elim. Anyone know what that word means? Elim. How about El? God. So what would Elim be? So that's interesting, right? We have a reference in this very Jewish prayer about multiple gods, but one of the tenets of our religion is that we're monotheistic. So does anyone have any ideas why this prayer might reference Elim, gods, multiple gods? Yes. That is absolutely true, and that is a very interesting and very big part of Judaism as well, is that God is both singular and plural. Super good point. And there is another reason in this prayer why we are actually talking about gods, though. This is specifically not just talking about our singular God also happening to be plural, but Elim, multiple gods. Paul, yeah.
I'm going to say, translated, it's who's like you among the gods.
Yes.
So it's like the God of Israel is superior to any other being that other people worship.
Right. When, at what time, what is this prayer referencing? What time in our lives as Jews? Crossing the sea. Okay, and so historically, where are we and what's happening? We're in Egypt, and what's happening in Egypt? A whole lot of gods, right? And so in this prayer, we say, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Who is like you among all of these gods? Adonai, which also means God. Like, hey, God, who's like you amongst the gods, God? We say God a lot in so many different ways in Judaism. So yeah, there's a reason this is not just a reference to our God being both singular and plural, which is true, but this is actually saying, hey, there's all these gods out there, but we know that you are Adonai, that you are our God. I lie, 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 lie. I lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 I lie, ya lie, lie. Ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 lie. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh feleh. Nora tehilot oseh feleh. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru. Adonai ilach le'olam va'ed. Adonai le'olam va'ed. I lie, 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 lie. I lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 I lie, ya lie, lie. Ya lie, 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 I lie, 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 lie. Hashkivenu Adonai, may we lie down to sleep in peace, and may you stand us up in the morning, and life and spread over us a sukkot shalom, a shelter of your peace. Page 34, please join me in Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu, uvoeinu, lechaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, More than Israel has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept Israel. What does that mean? What do you think? More than Israel has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept Israel.
By giving us Shabbat, and us doing Shabbat, it has kept us as a united people.
Yes, by having Shabbat to do together something that we all have in common and that we can all do, it has kept us as a united people. Did you have another thought?
We get together every Friday night or Saturday.
Yeah.
It gives us a reason to come together, see each other, maintain our religion.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Any other thoughts? Wonderful. You guys get it. Page 36. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uveil b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Please join me on page 38 as we offer our prayer of healing for those who are in need of healing of mind or body or spirit. In just a few moments, as I look around the room, I'll give you the opportunity to say the names out loud of anyone for whom you are thinking of and wishing healing for. Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Have blessings for a full healing to Gail Balin, Sue Beiser, Linda Colin, Bonnie Colton, Blanche Deutsch, Lynn Deutschman, Carol Ann Finn, David Freed, Jane Friedman, Deborah Goldman, Cliff Goldman, Jeff Goldstein, Donald Jaffe, Warren Janowitz, Mary Sue Katz, Skip Clowens, Herman Keek, Brian Kushner, Renee Myers, Pedro Prince, Stephen Reese, Chip Ruth, Roberta Scheller, Sam Schwartz, Bernie Shavitz, Ann Sheldon, Bill Silvers, Dina Stempler, Maury Strauss, Alan Tannenbaum, Toba Weinstock, Tevi Wellens, Mickey Winokur, Rabbi and Janet Newman, and all of the people in my hometown of Highland Park, Illinois, who are healing from the tragedy that happened on July 4th. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Please rise if you are able and join me in the Chatzi Kaddish on page 40. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra kirutei ve'amlich malchutei. Ve'imeru Heishmeru Yitzbarach v'yishtabach, Yitzpa'ar v'yitroma v'yidnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Ve'imeru Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Please join me on the top of page 42, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, followed by the Shemona Esrei, if you choose to say that silently on the following pages, or whatever prayer you have in your heart. Adonai, Ananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananana Ufi Agid, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ananana Adonai, Ananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananana Ufi Agid, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ananana Adonai, Ananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananana Ufi Agid, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ananana Adonai, Ananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananana Ufi agid, upi agid tehilatecha. Please take your time in completing the Amidah if you haven't yet finished. And once you have completed it, please join me on page 54 in Sim Shalom. Sim, 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 shalom, sim. Sim, sim, shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, sim. Sim, shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la la ya la la la. All right, who here went to a Jewish overnight camp? All right, I love to see it. So did I. That was probably one of my favorite and the most influential pieces of my childhood and my teenage years, and well beyond that as well. And one of my very favorite memories of growing up and going to Jewish overnight camp was the most incredible experience that we had on Friday nights when we would have Shabbat Shirah, where the whole camp, like almost 1,000 people, would get together in this round little, probably too little room, and we would all get together and sing songs about Shabbat, all of these different songs in Hebrew that our song leaders had taught us throughout the week. And in the middle of our song session, our camp director would get up and he would tell us a story. And right before he taught us a story, we would all sing this little nigun that goes like this. Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la la la, la 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 la, yai la 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 la. And my favorite stories that he would tell were these Chelm stories, these stories of the wise men from Chelm. And I have one to share with you this evening, a Chelm story. Chelm was a village of fools young and old. Once, on a Hanukkah night, the snow fell all evening. It covered the whole of Chelm like a silver tablecloth. The moon shone, the stars twinkled, and the snow shimmered like pearls and diamonds. Of all the fools of Chelm, the most famous were its 7 elders. Because they were the village's oldest and greatest fools, they ruled in Chelm. They had white beards and high foreheads from too much thinking. That evening, the 7 elders were sitting and pondering, wrinkling their foreheads. The city was in need of money, and they did not know where to get it. Suddenly, the oldest of them all, Gronim, the great fool, exclaimed, "Oh, wait, the snow! It's silver!" "Oh, I see pearls in the snow!" Another shouted. "Oh, I see diamonds!" A third called out. It became clear to the elders of Chelm that a treasure had fallen from the sky. But soon they began to worry. The people of Chelm liked to go walking, and they would most certainly trample the treasure. What was to be done? Silly Turdris had an idea. "Let's send a messenger to knock on all the windows and let people know that they must remain in their houses until all of the silver, all of the pearls, and all of the diamonds are safely gathered up." For a while, the elders were satisfied. They rubbed their hands in approval of the clever idea. But then Dopey Lashik called out in concern, "Oh, wait, but the messenger himself will trample the gold and the diamonds and the treasure." The elders soon realized that he was right, and again they wrinkled their high foreheads in an effort to solve the problem. "I've got it!" exclaimed Shmuel. Tell us," pleaded the elders. "The messenger must not go on foot. He must be carried on a table so that his feet will not tread on the precious snow." Of course, everybody was so delighted with him that the elders clapped their hands and admired his wisdom. So the elders immediately sent to the kitchen for Gimple the errand boy and stood him on a table. Now, who was going to carry the table? It was lucky that in the kitchen there was Treadle the cook, Beryl the potato peeler, and Yuckle the salad mixer, and Yuntle, who was in charge of the community goat. All 4 were ordered to lift up the table on which Gimple stood. Each one took hold of a leg. On top stood Gimple, grasping a wooden hammer, on which he would tap the villagers' windows. Off they went. At each window, Gimple knocked with the hammer and called out, "No one leave your house tonight. A treasure has fallen from the sky, and it is forbidden to step on it." The people of Chelm obeyed the elders and remained in their houses all night. Meanwhile, the elders themselves sat up trying to figure out how to make best use of the treasure once it had been gathered up. Silly Turdris proposed that they sell it and buy a goose which lays golden eggs. Thus, the community would be provided with a steady income. Dopey Lashik had another idea. Well, why not buy eyeglasses that make things look bigger for all of the inhabitants of Chelm? Then the houses, the streets, and the stores would all look bigger, and then, of course, if Chelm looked bigger, it would be bigger. It would no longer be a village, but a whole city. There were other equally clever ideas, but while they were weighing in on their various plans, morning came and the sun rose. The elders looked out the window, and alas, they saw that the snow had been trampled. The heavy boots of the table carriers had destroyed all of the treasure. The elders of Chelm clutched at their white beards and admitted to one another that they had made a mistake. Perhaps, they reasoned, 4 others should have carried the table for the 4 men who were carrying the table that held Gimple the errand boy. Well, after long deliberations, the elders decided that if a next Hanukkah treasure would fall again down from the sky, that is exactly what they would do. After the villagers remained without a treasure, They were full of hope for next year and praised their elders, who they knew could always be counted on to find a way, no matter how difficult the problem. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 lai. I'd like to invite Stephen Wellens up to give a few announcements about all of the wonderful things we have coming up at B'nai Vail.
Thank you and welcome. Shabbat Shalom. I spoke to the rabbi multiple times between yesterday and today, and he's doing fine. And we thank Michelle for stepping up and helping and running a wonderful service. And tomorrow she'll do an amazing job, I'm sure. I hope you're all going to join us tomorrow at Walking Mountains. 8 a.m. breakfast, 9 a.m. service. It's one of our creek sides. Yes. So it's behind Northside Deli and Avon.
It's in Avon. If you need help finding directions, you can talk to Seth after the service, and he'll explain how to get there. And I believe the service begins at 9:30.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 8 to 9 is a breakfast.
9:30
9:30 to 11 o'clock is a service. It's one of our first creek side. Obviously, we can't do it outside, but next year we will be able to. A couple of things. Monday, the 18th, 5:30, Beaver Creek. Janet's got the program planned for the opioid crisis. It's going to be a wonderful program. I hope you can join us, particularly if you have any family members or friends that are suffering from the effects of opioid or any kind of substance abuse. It's a crisis, and it's affecting us all. 23rd, next Saturday, will be in Leadville, at the old synagogue in Leadville for our Shabbat service. It's a wonderful opportunity to see a drop back in time, and it's beautiful. 28th, if you're here, and I know you all will be here, we'll be sewing the new Yemenite Torah to the rollers. And if you have not seen it yet, it is truly one of the most amazing Torahs I've ever seen. It's deerskin, it's beautiful. I can't say enough of how beautiful it is, and this is going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to take that Torah into our synagogue as a very nice gift and something that's priceless, and it's 350 years old, and it is spectacular. Many of us got to see it last Sunday at the Brodskys, and it is beautiful. And of course, the last thing I'll mention, Mountaintop service on the 30th. We'll be formally dedicating that Torah. We hope to have more than 500 people again. It was wonderful 2 weeks ago, last week, I guess it was, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful Shabbat service, and you'll learn a lot about Yemenite Jews and what they mean to us and what this community means to all of them. So thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. All right, our service will continue on page 60. Please rise and join me in singing and chanting the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gerula le'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'goralenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'nemar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. On page 64, we will say, for those who wish to join, I invite you to say with me the Mourner's Kaddish. And I have a list of names to read out. Please, if there's anyone who you're saying Kaddish for. If you're in Shloshim or if it's a yart site, you can always let Jeannie know so she can add your loved one to our yart site list. This Shabbat, we are remembering Fred Allen, Joan Barr, Gerda Bernhardt, Janet Brown, Harry S. Bush, Edith Cantor, Morris Cohen, Thomas Daniel, Mark Edinger, Pauline Ezensky, Faye Fermansky, James Gaynor, Arthur Glickman, Burl Goldstein, Harry Goldstein, Miriam Graubart, Joseph Guss, Barbara Gutzman, Changa Haling, Kenneth Hertz, Arnold Hodis, Eric Joss, Stuart Camber, Jerome Clowens, Selma Khan, Ida Labowitz, Norman Landsman, George Lerner, Robert Lutweiler, Betty Levin, Dr. Herman Moore, Joellen Moltak, Gertrude Palikoff, Ruth Plotnick, Edna Quarton, Max Rappaport, Regina Resnick, Regina Scharf, Neil Scher, Myrna Sigmund, Ellen Rhoda Solomon, Jay Sosland, Betty Spitzmiller, Jacqueline Steinberg, Benjamin Stemple, Evelyn Trout, Mary Weinstein, Morris Wetcher, Walter Wolf, Jody Rubel, Urjan Yashik, Joel Zalowski, and condolences to Janet and Joel Rabinowitz and Stephanie on the passing of baby Blake just a couple of weeks ago, and also remembering those who lost their lives in the massacre in Highland Park a couple of weeks ago. If you have any other names that you're remembering this evening, please say them aloud as my eyes meet yours. Thank you.
Ryan Stein.
Thank you. And together we say, Yit Gadal v'Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divra Kirte v'Amlich Malchute, Bechaye Chon u'Vyom Echon, Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'Vizman Kariv v'Imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam Ulamei Almaya. Yitbarach v'Yishtabach v'Yitpa'ar v'Yitromam v'Yitnaseh, V'Yitadar v'Yitalev v'Yitalal Shemei Dekudsha Berechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. All right, please join me on page 68 as we say Kiddush and Motzi together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz, b'tei avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Hey!